Yes, people. What's going on? Is He Got Talks Football. We are back again with another video. I got a full panel coming through today. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. But since we got Ahmed here, the Chelsea fan, I think it's only right we speak about the Club World Cup. And the reason why we're going to speak about the Club World Cup, your boys Chelsea have somehow found themselves scamming their way to another cup final. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Chelsea and scamming their ways to finals. But you guys have treated the Club World Cup as if it's the friggin', I don't know, dare I say it, the Community Shield. Dare I say it, you're treating it like it's the friggin', what do you call that again? The Conference League? That's what you want? Yeah, the Conference League.
The Conference League. Yeah. Europa Conference League. Yeah.
What was that trophy that people get in December in the English game? Oh, the Carabao Cup. Yeah. I think the Carabao Cup has a more difficult route to the final than you guys have had. The Carabao Cup winners, Newcastle last year, had a more difficult route to the final than you guys have had so far in this season. In the what do you call it? The Club World Cup. And I honestly think the Club World Cup, if you guys win it, very impressive from you guys, because of course your Club World Cup run didn't start here. It started when you won the Champions League. So I'm not going to be one of those people who are salty. Fair play to you guys to getting to the final, but I think this is where your road ends. But unfortunately for everybody else in football, Chelsea get another £100 million that they can spend on whatever the hell they want, and the team that has all the money in the world gets more money. It just doesn't seem fair. It just does not seem fair. Ahmed, I have to rant. Chelsea, all I got to say is PSG, do the world a favor and stop them from being called world champions for the next 4 years. Because if Chelsea Football Club win the Club World Cup off the back of winning the Conference League, they will not only call themselves the champions of Europe, they're going to call themselves the champions of the world. And we cannot have Chelsea calling themselves the champions of the world. PSG, you've never won the Club World Cup. You are a superior team. Some people are comparing you to 2017 Real Madrid. Some people are comparing you to Pep's Barcelona. If you don't put this Chelsea team to the sword, you guys are on fraud watch. And Chelsea, you guys somehow scam your ways to wins. I watched that game when you guys were in the Champions League final where you scammed yourself to a win versus Man City. I watched that game where you guys scammed your way to a win versus, what was it, Bayern Munich, if I'm not mistaken. and I was like, in their own house, am I not mistaken?
In their own house, man. In their own house, man.
So you guys already have Porto on Smash. You already have Bayern Munich Stadium on Smash. Wherever this game is going to be played in America, you guys potentially could have on Smash if you win it. And I don't think we want that. So football's in safe hands. Dembele, Doué, Barcola, all these guys, Vitinha, everybody, we need you to rise up. Because if Chelsea wins the Club World Cup, first of all, the trophy will be discredited. I'll call it a Community Shield trophy. And second of all, we cannot have Chelsea winning this trophy, and especially the first edition. This is like Uruguay winning the World Cup before people were taking it serious. That's what it's going to be.
Do you know what it is, man? I have no fear, you know what I mean? I look forward to the final on Sunday. I look forward to that final. You know what I mean? I love it when we're underdogs, man. We've consistently been underdogs in this tournament. You know, been said to be losing every stage of this tournament. And you know what, man? We play our best when the odds are against us, man. That's Chelsea Football Club for you. So listen, I look forward to Sunday. Bring it on. You know what I mean? When we get, inshallah, you know what I mean, that Club World Cup, you know what I mean, badge on the shirt, I'll be there no matter what, man. I'll be there no matter what, bro. And listen, great that we get a lot of money too on the side, man. It's great we get a lot of money on the side. Almost 100, more than 100 million now, including the final as well. So listen, I'm happy, you know what I mean, financially. I'm happy from a sporting perspective. And I'm even more happy from a sporting perspective for other reasons too. You know what I mean? Jackson on his way to AC Milan. You're going to be doing a swap deal for money on that one too. Madueke on the way out. One more big signing remaining.
I don't like to see Ahmed this happy, you know.
Why is Manchester United fans always sucking off Chelsea, man? I'm sorry. What are you doing?
No, I just wait. Did you hear what I said? I said I don't like to see Ahmed this happy.
Oh, okay, I thought you said I like to hear him.
No way, bro. You're crazy. That smile. Do you think I'm that happy to see that smile from ear to ear while I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs with one side?
Listen, man, Jackson's available, bro, man. Listen, I know you need a striker, man.
Wait, so it's Garnacho, bro. I'll swap him. Take Garnacho.
Sadly, that ended.
Dear, Habibi, dear.
Okay, so guys, I need to know two things. Number one, Chelsea, fair play. João Pedro looks good. Early doors, he looks good. Let's see what this Chelsea team is going to be capable of next season. I'm not going to evaluate their whole potential season yet, but at this moment in time, versus PSG, with Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Doué, Neves, Vitinha, Ruiz, Hakimi, Mendes, they just got a much better team than you, bro. They got a much better team than you. No hate, no banter. PSG defensively, offensively, on the counter,
defensively, they're missing their best centre back in Pacho, which is gonna even out the odds in my personal opinion a little bit. I think fullback.
They still got that 21-year-old. What's his name? Lucas Barredo. Yeah, whatever his name.
Essentially, like obviously, apologies to him, but listen, I think for me, Hakimi, yes, is quality, but I've got Kukurea on that side, bro. You know what I mean? I've got Marco Kukurea to handle him. That's why I'm very happy about that. Like, listen, again on the other side, Reece the Beach James in action. He's gonna be back for me. I'm not worried about Nuno Mensch. I've got Reece James, man. Simple as that, man. I've got the best.
They got Hakimi. They got Hakimi and Mendes. You think they're worried about Neto and Nkunku?
I don't care about that. I'm talking about the defensive aspect. Listen, I think for me that you can put Cole Palmer there. Nkunku's been cooking recently. Nkunku knows that league. You know what, man? Nkunku, I believe in him, man. I've got one more balloon. Nkunku remaining, man. So he's gonna give me that one more balloon. I'll be honest, bro. Midfield wise, if we match them, we are just as good as their midfield. I don't care what anyone says.
So listen.
Oh my God! I don't
care what anyone says. Enzo.
My thing is that like I'm on the move at the moment, so you can't see me. But I have no issue with Ahmed being lulled into this false sense of security. Ahmed, recite the teams that you played in the Club World Cup, please, quickly for me.
Wow, you know it's very competitive teams. Shout out to Tunis, LAFC. Who could forget the mighty Flamenco? You know what I mean? They beat us, of course. You know what I mean? Palmeiras, of course. Who else did we face that I'm forgetting?
So my thing about you talk about Nkunku and stuff, and you did the same nonsense last season when he was doing some stuff in the Conference League. Now, I'm not going to try and say that the teams that you're playing aren't better than the Conference League, but they're not Premier League level teams per se. So my thing is that any decisions that Chelsea are making based off this tournament is okay with me. I'm okay with that. Yeah, like whatever sense of security you're getting into, you win this tournament, you deserve it. You're the champions of the world. No one can say anything about it. But that's not necessarily a barometer of what you're going to do in the Premier League. Fair?
I think that's fair. I wouldn't disagree with that. I think for me though, I look at this tournament more so as a pre-season tournament for me, a way for our manager to try different tactics. It's clear for me that the manager has definitely changed very much the way we play now, and that's why I think
for a pre-season tournament, it's pretty nice.
Listen, man, hey, get a better pre-season tournament, man. You know, better than the Audi Cup and all these other ones. But listen, the manager,
the manager bite you in the arse, though. I'll be honest with you.
Bridge, one last thing I just want to say before you
there's no break.
Is like,
no, we're gonna have the players are gonna have automatic free rebate. No matter
but Bridge, let me just be clear about something. Yeah, like you think that you're the ones who are gonna end this PSG run. You ain't the ones that end in this PSG run. Tottenham are the ones that end in this PSG run.
Wow.
We all know it. We all already know it. Yeah. So get your L out of the way nice and quickly, and we can get on to the real thing where Tottenham can become the best team in the world by beating PSG in the Super Cup. And that's all I got to say about that.
So are Botafogo the best team in the world because they beat PSG?
This is what I was going to say. What's
happened to PSG if they win this tournament? You know, and then they lose to the Europa League winners. I think there's a case there. You know what I mean? I think it's substantive case. I appreciate that you've not won a European trophy or the Club World Cup. So I get that you're, outside looking in, being negative and stuff. That's fine. But I'm just trying to look at it from our point of view, of Tottenham being central champions of the world when we beat PSG. But, we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a month or so.
So with Liam Delap coming back from suspension, does he start or does João Pedro keep his place? James is going to be in the team. I don't think there's going to be any issues with him. Romeo Latvia has a fitness concern. He's not going to play in this game, I don't think.
No, he's going to play in the game. We just got a picture in the last hour of him saying ready. So listen, I think we're going to basically play our strongest squad in this game, which is going to be Sanchez, Reece James. It's going to be, I think, Tosin, Colwill, and then it's going to be Cucurella, Latvia, Enzo Caicedo, Cole Palmer, João Pedro, and Pedro Neto.
So where is Nkunku playing? On the left, right?
No. He's not going to play.
He's on the right. Who's playing on the right?
No, he's not going to play. You're going to play 4-3-3. I think we're going to play all three of our midfielders because I think the manager going to try to match them. I think.
So you're going to play Palmer on the right, Lavia in the midfield. What do you call it? Enzo in the 10.
No. It's going to be 4. It's going to be both 8s. Caicedo and Enzo are going to be 8s. There won't be no 10s in the system. We're going to match them. I think because he's done this before, where he's matched teams essentially like for. First.
I think Chelsea are going to lose, and I think you guys are going to get a battering. No offense.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think Chelsea are going to realize why AC Milan, Inter Milan, Man City, all these teams, not Man City, all these teams that recently have played PSG have been absolutely beat because they're going to blitz you. They're going to force your keeper into mistakes. They're going to force your defenders into turning the ball over high up the pitch. And they have a relentless press. They're going to win the ball high up the pitch, quick counter. And by the time it's halftime, I'm expecting it to be at least 1 or 2-0. By the end of the game, I'm expecting it to be 3-0. If Chelsea get a goal in this game, I'll be impressed.
Listen, I look forward to all of these.
Hey, I want to know what everyone's prediction is. My prediction is 3-0, and I think that's a really sensible prediction based on what's been happening with PSG.
I think it'll be closer than 3-0, Gal. I think it'll probably be about maybe 3-1, maybe 3-2. Let's go 3-2.
3-2. All right. What are you saying, Jay? Jay, are you there?
I'm gonna go.
Jay's too high for Kudus, man. Jay's on the Kudus side, man.
Wait, so hold on. Have PSG won the treble this season? Have they won a treble? So they've won the Champions League, they've won their League and they've also won a Cup of France.
They won the quad. They won their quad, bro. They won the quad.
So if they win this is their 5th.
Boy, yeah, it'll be Kvara's 6th. It'll be Kvara's 6th trophy because he won it with Napoli too.
Okay, yeah, no, I think they're winning it. I think they're not going to go out. Yeah, after winning all these titles, I think they're going to go for it. So yeah, definitely, I'm going PSG win. Probably not 3-0. Let's go 3-1.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Bridge Nation, 2-1 Chelsea.
I like the confidence, Bridge, right? I'm not going to lie, because remember last season when we were talking about it, and I was like, look at your team. You have to go for the top 4. You have to. You were like, no. I'm not going for it. So this season, that confidence is back. I like to see it, man. I like to see it.
All right. Fair enough. Let's talk more about Chelsea. So forget about Madueke for a second. What else is going on in the world of Chelsea? Talk to me, Ahmed.
Nicolas Jackson, AC Milan interested. A lot of Premier League clubs are circling. He's looking like he's set to leave the club. The breaking news obviously is that AC Milan is really interested in him, and they just spoke in the last hours with Chelsea to find something out to make that happen. And listen, we know they're broke anyway. Let's just keep it real, guys. We know they're a broke club. They're not going to be able to pay whatever it is for Jackson. So if they want to get Jackson, it's going to be money plus money on for Jackson. That's what it's going to be. So
you're going to rob them.
Listen, man, that's what we do. If not that, I know United. I've been hearing a lot of rumblings about United interested in Jackson.
No.
I've been hearing. I've been smelling.
Link. Ahmed, don't try
listen,
it.
I've been smelling a lot of stuff as well.
No, there was one. I saw one link for Nkunku.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Listen, I've been hearing differently.
Nicolas Jackson is not headed to Arsenal. You guys need to stop with your bullshit.
Aston Villa, I've been hearing very interested. Not in Emery, the big fan of him as well. And you know what it is? Listen,
Jay, you're with the robots. Jay, you're with the
Yeah, yeah.
robots.
I'm
We
just
lost
gonna
you.
say, yeah, I'm just gonna say right now, Aston Villa. Listen, I want Morgan Rodgers in the team. I think that's my final piece of the equation. You can do a deal, if you do an exchange deal with that one too. So
Hey,
listen,
you're not drinking the Rodrygo Kool-Aid?
Nah, I don't think we're gonna get him. So therefore, listen, I want the next best, which for me is Morgan
Allah,
Rodgers right now.
why do they always do this bullshit? Concentrating to leave Chelsea, clubs in the Premier League and Italy are calling to find out and evaluate the conditions of the deal. One to watch. I dare you, Arsenal, to say you're one of those clubs.
Listen, man, if the Gyokeres deal falls through, Jackson for 50, Madueke for 50, Kepa for 50. Wowee, man.
Hold on.
Wowee.
Igal, hold on. Am I relatively clear here? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so Igal, I want to ask you a question because only a week ago you were telling us, and you're telling everyone who watches the show, thank you all of the watchers, we all appreciate it. You're telling people to watch the show that Berta was cooking, that there was no reason to worry about anything that was going on. That's not your words, not mine. Your words. And it's only been a week. A week is a long time in football, Igal. So I would love to understand where you stand on Berta. Because my friend, Arsenal fan, very logical, very coherent. He says Berta can't finish. Yeah, he says Berta, he's not a closer. He's not a closer. This guy can't close deals. That's what my friend says.
Hey, Jay.
And the evidence dictates, like, hold on. Yeah? Sesko couldn't close it. Gyokeres hasn't closed it. Mosquera hasn't closed it. Yeah? The deals you've closed, Kepa, 5 million. Norgard, whatever. Yeah? Zubimendi wasn't him. So I'm going to ask you again, Igal. Yeah? Your criteria. How's Berta doing?
Berta's doing his job very well. We're on pace to have our best ever transfer window in our club's history.
Oh my.
That's the reality.
Oh, but hold on, Igal, but I could have sworn I was on your Twitter earlier and I saw Noni Madueke with a big red X through it, and you were saying no to Noni.
This
And then
is
you
the
had the audacity. Hold on, you had the audacity later on to say, "Let's not be negative to Noni." Bro,
No. I
Did you
said
watch the
don't
video?
abuse.
Did you watch the
Christ,
video?
yeah. If you
Stop.
post a picture of somebody with a red X through them, I assure you, you are part of the problem.
No, I said don't abuse
No,
them online. Don't send him DMs. Don't start saying stuff about racism and stuff like that.
But
There's people out here.
Posting a picture with a red X through it is acceptable. You think that's
Yeah,
okay?
you can be against the transfer. You don't have to come here and send the guy personal messages telling him you're garbage.
So you
and don't want
think
anywhere near
this
my club.
generation of footballers, who are the most online footballers of all time, who reference jokes between themselves that we talk about online, thus showing that they clearly read and see what we post. The fact that you didn't post it, do you think the fact you didn't DM him, do you think that makes it so much better?
Bro, I didn't cuss him. I didn't say he's what do you call it? Like, I didn't start making.
Bro, hold on.
I didn't start insulting him. I just simply said, one second. I stand by what I said. I said the guy, I don't think he's good enough. I don't think Arsenal should be spending money on Noni Madueke for £50 million. There's players like Eze and Rodrygo that are available, that are better players. And I think even he would agree that, you know what? This guy's not making fun of me or cussing me. He's just simply showing his frustration towards the club.
The best bit of the video.
Why is this guy making it seem like, Jay, why are you making it seem like I'm sitting here personally attacking the player? I'm not doing that. That's what I think the issue is.
Because
I think the
thing is that
people have taken it upon themselves.
Igal, I thought you were one of us. Yeah, I thought you were one of me. I would never do that. I would, if somebody says no to something and does a hashtag, I'd go to them and say, listen, what objective benefit is this to the situation, seeing as the club is not going to turn around and listen to you? Maybe if it was Greenwood, could have a justifiable case from a moral point of view as to why you don't want to sign the player. You just don't want that.
No, because I view this as a backwards step that could potentially hurt our club in years to come.
all of the criticisms that you had.
Noni Madueke.
When I
Here
look at the
we
criticisms,
go.
Igal, the
Noni
criticisms you had of,
Madueke. Here we go, bro.
Hey, what was it? Nonino.
No, Ahmed, you're taking the piss.
Wallahi,
No,
bro.
I'm saying,
Wallahi.
I'm saying, what's the difference?
Noni Madueke. Here we go.
Nonino. We
Alright.
got
Noni
Nonino.
Madueke. Here
We
we
got
go.
Nonino. We got
In
Nonino.
excess of 50 million. Oh,
Hey,
my club,
Ahmed.
wallahi.
Ahmed, the best
club
bit.
is a money-making machine, wallahi.
Wow, I'm not going
Ahmed.
to timing of me saying this and for this to
My
happen.
club is a money-making machine,
Let me buy a
wallahi.
computer.
You know what, yeah?
Hey.
I have to say a club for that, man. I can't
Hey, bro,
believe
the
they
best
did it.
bit. Sorry, I'm gonna say this, bro. The best bit of a gal's video. Big up a gal each and every time, yeah. But he proper sat there, and all the one bit that made me laugh, you were like, he's not
Just
worth
one
50
day.
million. Hey, he goes, he's not worth 50 million, and
No.
even his potential is not worth 50.
Wait, Ems, you know how crazy this is? They put in a bid yesterday, and we managed to agree on a deal within 24 hours. Do you know how
Is he
mad
an
that
Arsenal
is?
fan? He must be an Arsenal fan.
This is actually crazy, by the way. I can't believe he managed to agree a deal in
No,
24
bro,
hours.
He made some good points though. You were like, Chelsea signed Palmer for 40 mil. What's Madueke going? Do you know what I mean? You made some good points. I don't think it's hate. It's just like I don't rate him for 50 mil.
In X, hey, 55 M's. He got our 55
So,
M's.
listen,
I told Igal we're gonna get 55 M's for this brother. What did I tell you, bro?
listen, I'm saying, but listen, I'm saying, Ems, that like if you look at it, Madueke is not as bad as people think. Yeah.
Yes,
Because
Jay, I
somebody
agree.
asked me. No, because the thing is that if you want, like, and I'm being logical here, you've got Mbuemo and you've got Kudus, right? Now, if you want to sign a left-footed right winger in the Premier League, right? Madueke is probably next up. Alternatively, I'm actually surprised you guys didn't go back for Omari Hutchinson. Because
No, but they're
would
going to
make
play him
sense
on.
to me.
I think they'll play him off the left. I don't think they're going to play him
No,
off the
but
right.
what I'm saying is
Sanchez
Omari Hutchinson would make sense to me. You could maybe get him for 30+ million. I'm sure he's got some sort of release clause at Ipswich. He used to play for Arsenal. He plays off the right. I don't know why you guys. I have no idea why you guys didn't say something to Omari Hutchinson. For like maybe you could get him for a little bit less. But I'm not. I think Noni's a good player. I understand the reservations because if you're Arsenal and you're seeing that you're buying players from Chelsea, there's no creativity in the transfers. There's no, you know what I mean? You just like going to Chelsea. It's like, are you telling me there's no one better than Madueke at 50?
Hey, wait.
Before you go,
is Garnacho better?
Before you go,
Is Garnacho better than Madueke?
Time out, guys. Before you quickly go, yeah. I know Igal knows this, and I think if you've watched me before, I told Igal, if you objectively just look at Madueke as a backup, well, he's getting cool, bro. He's getting this.
A girl's looking stressed. Hey, a girl, it's not that deep, bro. Trust me, man. It's not.
It's all right, bro, man. But I said this before, yeah. If you just look at it, if you look at him, Madueke as just a backup option, bro. He's someone there that covers. Yo, Chaz is calling me. What the hell, bro?
Ahmed. Listen, I didn't really come on too much to talk about transfers, but if there's one person who we should be hearing from right now, it's not Jay, it's not you, it's Igal. Look at his face.
Yeah, he's
Let him talk.
man.
Let him talk.
Bro, he already said it in his video. He said it all, bro. He said, look, like, he's not worth 50 mil. His potential was not even worth 50 mil. Like, then he's
all right. Let me just say this. Noni Madueke to Arsenal.
Here we go.
Noni Madueke to Arsenal. Here we go. I can't believe this. I thought we were going to go this window and legit make level-raising signings. If Noni Madueke is coming in as our first attacking option, we better go and secure Viktor Gyokeres and another top player like either Eze or Rodrygo. If we don't do that, and our attacking options coming out of this window are Noni Madueke and Gyokeres, we have not done enough. I'm going to let them finish the window before I start going crazy. But at this moment in time, he's officially going to be an Arsenal player soon. We have no choice but to just back the player. It's not on Noni Madueke because we spent 50 million on him. We can't abuse the player. It's not on the manager alone. It's on the people at the club. Berta just walked in through the door. Arteta, you can blame him. You can blame the people who signed him. At this point, we have no choice but to back the player and I don't think he's going to be starting. He's not better than Bukayo Saka. I don't see him as a good left winger. I am disappointed. I am annoyed, and I feel like the club lied to me. As a fan who was walking into this window looking for level-raising signings, first attacking signing you make is Noni Madueke is taking the piss. You have all the money in the world to go and spend 50 million on Noni Madueke, but you're haggling over 5 million for Gyokeres. You have all the money in the world to go and spend 50 million on a Chelsea player, 65 million on Kai Havertz, 115 million over on Kai Havertz and Noni Madueke, but you weren't willing to spend 15 million more for Isak. You weren't willing to spend more for what do you call it, Bruno Guimaraes when we wanted him. You weren't willing to spend more on some of these other players in the past when we wanted to get them. Even just as recent as a couple of seasons ago when Caicedo was available and we wanted him in the January window, we ended up getting, guess what, a Chelsea player in Jorginho instead. I don't know what Chelsea have over us. I don't know why we continue to keep shopping at Chelsea. It's not brought us success before. But the only hope, the only saving grace is the guy's 23 years old. Hopefully he can get better. Hopefully he can do something. I don't see why this is the priority signing to get over the line before we start making other business. Because now you're gonna look at if you're Crystal Palace, you're saying to yourself, Eze's price has just gone up. If you're Rodrygo's agent, you're saying to yourself, yo, Rodrygo's price just went up. Because Noni Madueke is half the player of those guys, in my opinion. But it's just the problem. The problem here is I don't know what they're doing. Does Saka have a serious injury that we need to prioritize a backup to Saka this much? Is there something underlying that we don't know? I don't know. I'm trying to bring logic to it, but at this point, I'm not going to bring it to the player. It's not his fault that we've signed him. It's not his fault that the club have decided to make him a priority. He sees Arsenal as a better pathway to get more minutes than Chelsea, and he sees a competitive team which he thinks he can improve. I don't know what the board were thinking, and I think the decision makers at Arsenal just always have to do something that is categorically viewed as a wrong decision. And I think this is a wrong decision. And once again, I think we've just strengthened a rival and weakened ourselves, in my opinion. I don't think Noni Madueke strengthens our team to the level that 50 million could benefit Chelsea's transfer kitty this window.
It's not benefiting Chelsea's transfer. Chelsea have just been fined a massive amount by UEFA, right?
Yeah.
So there are financial issues at Chelsea which they need to resolve because they've signed these long contracts with players. That's an ongoing issue that's potentially going to be rearing themselves season after season. So that 50 million will give them some respite perhaps for the next window. So yeah, and ultimately, Igal, like this is your opinion, and of course, many Arsenal fans may have a differing opinion, but the people who run the club, they're also entitled to their opinion. We won't know whether it's right or wrong until the players are on the pitch.
Right.
You know something? I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm sitting here in a year's time saying, you know what, I'm holding humble pie because he proved me wrong. But I just don't know. I don't know if that humble pie is ever going to arrive. As a Chelsea fan, Ahmed, what does he bring to the table for us?
I told you this before, bro. I think for me, and I said this before, Madueke is a great dribbler.
What's the sales pitch? What's the sales pitch? Here's the sales pitch coming in.
On an honest note, I always said, yeah, he's a great dribbler. I actually really think he's a great dribbler. Great grab of the ball, right? I think the thing that obviously at Chelsea that you know we hoped under Maresca would have changed was his ability to make better decision making, right? Because once he gets it past his man, that's why I always say the issue of him has always been where he doesn't always make the right decision the vast majority of the time. So I think maybe what I've said before, maybe Arteta believes, you know, unlike us, who gave him a lot more game time this season compared to the previous season under Poch, that he can probably help him a bit more in terms of those decision making processes at the end of the day. That's what I think it is, really.
Ahmed, I don't see that. I struggle to see how these lot can sit there in a boardroom and be like,
but you look, but
I know Madueke, 50 mil. Let's go. How?
But let me give you an example. Yeah, Havertz, for example, right? Listen, I think Havertz at my club wasn't great, and I think everyone here can agree with that, right? But when you went to Arsenal, Arteta was able to improve the player, right? He was able to get him back to a bit more of a better, much better, like, you know, a suitable to above suitable level, right? So I think maybe Arteta still believes Obviously, Madueke has been a bit average, I'd say, at Chelsea. I can get him to above average at Arsenal, and he could be a great backup for me.
But he's not even better than Wanyeri.
Maybe he sees Wanyeri
Guys,
as a
guys.
backup.
Somebody just messaged me. They said, "Yo, Igal, calm down. Gyokeres is already done. We're gonna get to hear you go soon, and Eze is 100% gonna be the next one. Just forget about Rodrygo for now.
I don't see that. I don't see that happening, man.
Just forget about
Rodrygo.
Rodrygo.
Cough up 70 mil.
Just forget about Rodrygo. Eze and Gyokeres are going to be the next two Arsenal signings. It's not going to be as bad as you think. Calm down.
I don't think I'd be surprised if you got Eze and Rodrygo at this stage, right? Because that's
no, not Eze and Rodrygo. Eze and Gyokeres rack.
Big up, no lie.
Yeah. No, but what? See, I have Gyokeres or striker as a given. So obviously, none of those players are playing as a striker. I'd be surprised if you, as a striker, you get a striker and you get Eze and you get Rodrygo. I think that would be maybe a bridge too far.
Big up, no lie.
Ultimately, look. If Rodrygo is not necessarily super hyped about coming to Arsenal, or he, in an ideal world, he wants to stay with Madrid, maybe that's made the decision for them. If you're Arteta and you're like, Rodrygo, do you want to come in? He's like, oh, well, I'd like to stay at Madrid. That's my main priority, and then we'll see what happens next week and all that kind. That's not going. You want, one of the things that Arteta has tried to promote, right, is he wants Arsenal to be first. And if Rodrygo's not Arsenal's first, and look, don't get me wrong, he's been successful both ways, right? Sometimes you pick up players from teams that want to leave, they come to your team and they smash it, and other times you dodge a bullet. So it is what it is.
You know something? I just feel like at this moment in time, I feel like we are Chelsea's side piece. And they come
why you shouldn't measure yourself against Chelsea.
No, but
I don't understand
the main reason why I am looking at this situation and I'm saying to myself, it doesn't make sense to me, is because he was signed for 29 million just a couple of years ago. He has now Chelsea have decided to sell him 2 years later. I don't think he's increased his value by that much money to warrant 50 million transfer fee.
Arguably not.
I still haven't seen a David Ornstein tweet.
But part of that is
I still haven't seen a David Ornstein tweet. I just think, would 40 million be justified? Maybe. If the 50 million is 10 million in add-ons, right?
Yeah, but if it's 40 plus 10, or
does that make sense?
50 million? No, apparently the deal was over 50 million pounds, bro.
Yeah, it's 55. I think it was like 45, 10 million
add-ons included.
No, it's not just 50 by itself. It's more than 50.
I think
it's over 50 add-ons included. So say it's 52. Say it's 52, right? Say it's 12 million.
Plus, yeah.
Those add-ons. When we signed Wirtz, what did I say to you?
Look at me. I'm sweating. I'm literally hot. I'm so mad.
You know what I said when we signed Wirtz? You clicked me up, right? You said, what did I say? I said, I want to pay 115 million. I want us to pay 115 million for Wirtz. You know why? Because that means we win the Premier League. That means we win the Champions League. That means we win the lot. If you achieve those add-ons, fine. And if you don't, you spent 40 million. Yes, it's a bit of an uplift for Chelsea. The market's also gone up.
Tomorrow,
it's a backward step for Arsenal, bro.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna have Kiko Suarez on, Real Madrid content creator. I'm gonna speak to him about the whole Rodrygo situation. But tonight, guys, we got to hear you go, and all I gotta say is, I said this when we originally first got linked to Noni Madueke. I feel like we're the butt of the joke every single window, and for one window, I thought we were going to take it very serious. We brought in a director of football, and I thought it was going to be a situation where we did only logical deals. Does Noni Madueke scream a logical deal to you guys? Do you think a club in our situation, getting rid of Leandro Trossard, bringing in Noni Madueke, is that
Here he is.
Yeah, that's a naughty smile, Jay, man.
Here he is.
That's a naughty smile.
And you know something? Jay started this whole conversation. But you know what the funniest part about it is? Jay, you did not expect the Noni Madueke. Here you go.
I'm often right. That's
who's got a better deal? Madueke to Arsenal or Kudus to Spurs? What's the better deal?
Of course,
Kudus. Like, what are we doing? This is why I don't understand. What the hell, Arsenal?
I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question.
It's funny, you know. They brought Kudus and they brought Morgan Gibbs-White, and they're probably better value for money.
Listen. The thing is I don't want Madueke to take the shine of what has been a hellation. Like if Jim Ross WWE legend was announcing this Tottenham last two, he'd be like, oh my God, because, yeah, I'm trying to tell you boys, yeah, GIBBS-WHITE and Kudus, yeah, that's serious. My FC is serious. Do you know what I mean? My football club is serious. That's what serious clubs do. Like, look at it like this, yeah? How many of us motherfuckers knew that GIBBS-WHITE had a £60 million release clause? None of us. Not one of us knew that he had a £60 million release clause. I don't even know if City knew that. Yeah?
I don't think anyone knew. I'll be honest, bro. I was surprised when I heard he had a 60 million release clause. That was crazy.
Listen.
Yeah, so are we gonna start comparing signings now? Because this is
no. Listen, Igal. Listen, I'm not. You want to compare? I've not even celebrated them yet. How am I going to compare the signings when I've not even had the opportunity to celebrate them yet?
No, you know what? Fair play. You guys got Kudus and Morgan Gibbs-White. Great signings for you guys.
Bro, listen. People can I saw Morgan Mid-White. I don't care what you guys think about.
Right, I can't lie, bro. This needs to be the soundtrack when Madueke comes on the pitch, bro. I can't lie,
bro. Hey. European champions are talking here. Like, please, like, I appreciate what they've done.
Oh my God.
I genuinely, I appreciate them signing Madueke, but like we've kind of discussed that, and now it's time to kind of discuss what's going on with Tottenham. Yeah, and there's a lot going on. Do you know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Morgan midwife, crazy.
It's a weighty segment. Like people want to talk about Kudus. First and foremost, Kudus. Yeah, 55 million. Yeah. That's a good deal. Whether or not you think the player's this or that, yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah, that's a good 55 million. Yeah, I trust Thomas Frank to get the best out of this player. Yeah, I actually found out recently that the academy that Kudus went to, I think it's called A Right to Dream. The coach from that academy works at Tottenham. Yeah, like I'm sorry, you can't flop the coach that gave you this. The guy that gave you the Willy Wonka ticket to the big time, you're going to go to his football club and mess about. That's not happening. That's obviously not happening. He's obviously going to take it seriously. He said he only wanted Tottenham. So first of all, the guy's very sensible. I didn't know, like, he fought some of our players, so I thought maybe
shameless.
No, he was fighting with Tottenham players. So I thought maybe this guy's not all there, because why would you want to fight with the mighty Lily-Whites? Okay. So after that, he said, I only want to join Tottenham. So clearly this guy is a very sensible guy, very, very grounded, very logical, very process-driven in his mind. So I'd have to take all of that back, because now he's come to join Tottenham, yeah? And it's not even just that. So after that, yeah, we didn't even have the here we go. And then all of a sudden, Ornstein is like, Tottenham are like sniffing around, like going after Gibbs-White. People thought, okay, maybe this is going to be a thing. 2 hours later, thank you. You did the sound a little bit early, because if you'd done that sound, then I said 2 hours later. But 2 hours later, done. Yeah,
2 hours later.
So now I'm sitting back here thinking, we spent over 100 million in 2 days. On two. I'm going to say Gibbs-White is a very good player. I think he's a very good player. That's why Pep was interested in buying this player. Yeah. Kudus last season wasn't his best season. But listen, we can all have blind spots for players that we like. And I'm choosing to have a blind spot for this player now. In the last 2 seasons, only Yamal.
You look too comfortable over there, bro.
Listen, only Yamal has
there with his eyes slowly, not even listening, bro. You're so confident. You're happy with you. Look at that.
This guy's in the clouds, man. He's teaming.
Yeah, bro, literally. Jay's sitting there talking about the sporting director, and he's just sitting there in his eyes slowly, not giving two pence, bro.
Right to a different tier now. That's what he's saying.
Jay even shouted out Right to Dream Academy, Sadio Mane, original, man.
That's what I'm trying to say. And all I'm gonna say, yeah, is that like Tottenham, over the last 6 weeks, you've given me my joy back. Do you know what I mean? Like you've given me enough ammo to last the next few years. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to hear nothing from outside of the top 6 clubs. Obviously, we're still the brunt of the litter of the top 6. But I don't want to hear no outside of the top 6 clubs even calling our name. Forest fans were talking spicy. We took your captain. We took your captain. Just like poof. In 2 hours, just took him, drop him into Tottenham. Enjoy, play with Madison. Do you know what I mean? So,
Elder, what is it? 60 M's.
60 M's.
What's the wages though?
Bro, listen.
United love to talk about money. Go ahead.
No, I'm just like, bro, like, what's the wage? And City was supposed to be in for him, no? So City obviously didn't finish the job.
Read the super chat quick. All 6 of your forwards were signed under Arteta. Okay, what? 4 of them came from Chelsea: Willian, Havertz, Sterling, Madueke.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Listen, I appreciate you doing the copium, but some of us are on the hopium. And let me tell you a little bit more.
that deserves a sound effect.
Cook. Oh no, where's the sound effect set?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No sound effects. What? No sound effects.
Right, I got you.
Perfect.
I got one here.
Perfect. Because that is what the transfer window is for Tottenham thus far. And
let me just say this: Mohammed Kudus is better value for money than Noni Madueke. 60 million for Morgan Gibbs-White is a bargain compared to the 100 million he was getting reported for earlier in the season.
Listen, I just want
earlier in the year.
Yeah,
bro. Why don't we just go for Rashford over Madueke?
Do you want to know what? Do you want me to tell you just something quickly before you go, Ems? Is that what Spurs are doing? Is they're increasing their floor with their signings, but Arsenal aren't increasing their ceiling, and that's how you get caught up by clubs. I'm not trying to say that we're gonna like gain this or that on you, but I'm saying that if you don't increase your ceiling, yeah, you ain't going nowhere. And for me, Madueke is, and this is where I'm like, is this a Berta signing? Because until Berta came, I've never seen Madueke's name linked with Arsenal. Yeah. Now Berta comes, the same with Gyokeres. Never heard Gyokeres' name linked with Arsenal. Berta comes, now all of a sudden he's a target. My friend says that he thinks that Berta don't fancy Arteta. He's not feeling him. He wants his own guy, and he's planning for life after him. Yeah, and these signings are indicative of we're signing these players for the club rather than signing more specified players for you. I'm not sure how much I buy into that, but no,
they love Arteta over there, bro. I don't think they love Arteta. I'm telling you now, bro. Like what he says goes. I doubt.
Imagine. What do you call it? This whole Noni Madueke 50 million stuff is like 35 up front.
Listen, sometimes you got to fry in your own grease. I keep saying this is the Kudus moment. This is the Kudus moment.
We need a sound effect. Someone's got a sound effect.
Madueke. What?
Because, bro, I'm gonna have to do a whole video on that.
Champions.
I'm still in shock.
Big money, and you want to talk about?
You know what? Let me say this. I'm impressed at the speed in which you got those the Morgan Gibbs-White deal done.
Wait, what?
I'm impressed.
Did you guys see how fast the deal got done? It was that deal got announced that they're in the works, and then 3 hours later it was completed.
No, that's not how he was.
No, you're mistaken, because what happens? You know when your sporting director isn't making decisions when your sporting director isn't doing stuff to appease social media, you can get stuff done quickly. You heard about the Morgan Gibbs-White deal now. How long have we been working on it? Who knows? Because we're not playing it out in front of the cameras. We're just going to do the deal. We don't want to be seen to be doing the deal. We want to do the deal. Yeah? So do you want to do the deal or do you want to be seen to do the deal? Like, over to you, Berta. Because it seems like you can do a Madueke deal, a Kepa deal, a Norgard deal. But when you got to do the deal, the Sesko deal, the Gyokeres deal, the Eze deals, why are you not doing the deal?
I was thinking the same thing, Jay, honestly, because even with all of my boys are Arsenal fans, and obviously I thought Man United are getting Gyokeres, right? So I was getting my hopes up with that front three of Gyokeres and Mbeumo, Cunha. Then I'm hearing, you know what? Arsenal are in for him, but obviously Sporting put up the price. He had a release course of 60 mil. They put it up to 70 mil. And I knew already Arsenal ain't willing to pay that 70 mil. So I had all of my mates messaging me, oh, bro, we're going to get Gyokeres. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. A week later, everything's quieting down and nothing's happening. So I've actually got a bet with one of my boys.
Oh,
I
Mosquera. What about
£100.
Mosquera?
I've got £100 bet with one of my boys that he won't get Gyokeres because I truly believe that you lot won't pay the 70 M's.
Igal, what's going on with
Oh my
Mosquera?
God, it's finished. It's done.
What is?
It's
Don't tell me.
52 million.
What is?
David Ornstein just tweeted.
What, the Madueke or Gyokeres?
Madueke.
Oh yeah, that's
Madueke.
fine, bro. Have him. Take. Hey, let's celebrate, bro. 2-step in this.
Wow!
Done deal. Full agreement with Chelsea.
Ahmed, I did say 52. Yeah, you said 55. You said it was more than 50. I said 52.
Yeah, you're right, man. Hey, credit to Rack.
Okay. Listen, Igal, I take it back. I understand why Arsenal fans are crashing here. Like you can't just give.
I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it, man.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Me not can't believe, man. You know
Like,
what
even I like Madueke, but the aesthetics of the deal, they
Guys,
just don't work. Like,
It gets worse. It gets worse.
Fans.
It gets worse.
How much is the
It
fixed
gets
fee?
worse.
45 million fixed.
It gets worse. Have you heard the
Front.
news?
Up front.
45
Have you heard the news?
I told you, bro. Up front 45.
1 second. Rock, have you heard the news?
No, I haven't heard the news.
Rodrygo to Liverpool. Liverpool have inquired in Rodrygo.
Who's this, bro?
That's June the 9th,
It's an
bro.
inquiry.
That's
Hey, Gal,
July
man.
the 9th, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gas the thing.
Liverpool have inquired in Rodrygo services from Real Madrid in the case that Luis Diaz leaves.
No
Liverpool
wonder
are
why
prepared,
Rex sitting there eating ice
and-
balls, bro.
and
All
they
quiet.
like
and
the
shit.
player very much. So
Sitting
while we're all
in
sitting
silence,
here,
bro, eating ice
while we're
lollies.
all sitting here talking about Madueke, Liverpool are like, haha, let them get Madueke. We're gonna go for Rodrygo.
But Igal,
100%.
the thing is,
I think that's because of the refs. No, I'm joking. Too early. Next season.
Nah, but hold on.
Nah,
But
now you're
with
taking the piss, bro.
Madueke,
I'm joking. Wallahi, I'm joking.
Now, honestly, with Madueke, the thing is, if they're looking at
Bring
this
that
guy,
back.
and
Bring
he's
that
the
back.
guy. No, if
But Madueke, let's talk about
the
this.
guy,
No. Let's talk about
Arteta.
Madueke. Let's.
You know what? I haven't heard about you.
Yeah,
Bea, what are you saying, Bea, man? I haven't even heard you speak about Madueke, Bea, man. Talk your piece, bro. Talk your piece, man.
Bro, we're not talking about Madueke, for fuck's sake. We're talking about GIBBS-WHITE and Kudus. Why are we hijacking? Why are we hijacking the same?
We ain't spoke about
Madueke.
We ain't spoke about Liverpool.
Yeah?
We ain't spoke about United. It's just been Spurs and Madueke
obviously
and
speak on
Chelsea.
Madueke, but still, like, do you know what I mean? Transition, please.
All right, Jay, you host. Talk about it.
Right, Jay, it's your moment. Jay, that's your moment. But hey, talk as an Arsenal fan. Talk as an Arsenal fan.
Well, okay, guys, welcome to Gal Talks Football with your host, Jay Andrew. Listen, we got Veta in the building. Veta, you've just seen the news. Madueke has signed for Arsenal. What are your thoughts?
I think we're gonna have to look at some patience amongst the Arsenal fans. I know they've been patient over some years, but they need to continue with this patience because the club's looking for depth. The club's not looking for.
I like this.
The club's not looking for a level raiser like they posted on social media with regards to this signing. The club's looking for depth because they need that in a few positions, and I think that's all that this means for the player. Again, he's going to qualify as homegrown. He's an English.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
He doesn't qualify as homegrown.
He's not homegrown.
No, because he picked up. He came from PSV.
Yeah, so technically he's a foreign player.
So he's a foreign player. Yikes.
Yeah.
All right. So having him still adds to the depth. Having him, well, again, Igal was one of them. Many Arsenal fans, like the angry ones, right? We're all talking about Saka can't play this many games. Why are we winning 3-1, 3-0, and Saka's still on the pitch for 90 minutes? You now have a player that you can insert to kind of save those legs for Saka so he's not limping after every game. That's all that this signing is. It's depth. Don't freak out. Don't lose your minds. You guys obviously got the 9 that you need, and I think you just get depth. Calm.
Veta, before you continue, may I ask you the question? Hold on. May I ask the question to the panel? Arsenal continue to buy suboptimal forwards and then complain about small margins when it doesn't go for them. Madueke continues, in theory, down that line of attackers, and if they fall short, can you not attribute it once again to the fact that these attackers are not quite of the level of what they're looking for?
You know what it is though, Jay? The way I always put it is, they kind of have they have almost like what I like to call two-fold issue. There is obviously, like, if we're being fair to Arsenal, yes, there is a depth issue, right? In terms of they need guys off the bench to actually contribute and help the team. But at the same time, there is also fundamental issues, obviously, in one or two places, particularly in the left wing, right, which I know Miguel talks about a lot, right, in the striker position, where they clearly also need to improve, right?
And the window's not closed. That's why I said patience.
And this is where I'm like, yes, whilst the window is not closed, right? But if the window does, for example, end up just being a Madueke and then a Gyokeres, then it is a disappointing window, right? I think an Arsenal,
Mate, but before I ask Ems to continue, you guys have seen the meme with the hand scrunching the burger, holding it really tightly, and that's how I feel about Madueke. I understand what you're saying, but no one's trying to take your burger. Madueke wasn't going anywhere. Yeah. So whilst the point you make is valid, Madueke wasn't actually going anywhere. But
by the way,
he's
he's going to be on good wages. He's going to be on 50K a week. He's immediately going to be our lowest. He's going to be immediately our lowest paid player at the club.
Bring it in. Obviously,
one second. People in the chat. One second. People in the chat who are lying. He is not on 200K a week. He's on 50K a week. Shut your mouths.
No, he's on 50K a week now.
Evidence. He's only on 150K a week now, bro. There's no way he can go from 50K.
He's staying on the same wage package to join Arsenal.
There's no way, bro.
He's staying on the same wage package.
Bro, that's not possible.
How can you possibly know that?
Let me go find you the source.
Bro, even if you can find someone, you're basically going to someone else on Twitter. How can that person possibly know that?
Yes.
Hold on.
No, I'm referring.
While a girl finds that, let me have my take on Madueke, please, bro.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Because for me personally, I don't think he's that much of a bad player, even though I can name the players. I think Rashford is better. I'll be honest with you. I think Rashford is better and cheaper. You can get him for 25, 30 mil. Forget that anyway. He's 24 years old. He's not a youngster. 50 mil plus is quite a lot of money for someone that is going to be used for a backup role. But the real thing that annoys me, guys, is he better than what you have? Yeah. So he's not better. Obviously, Rack, you alluded to him being a backup for Saka. For me, I don't think he's going to be that. But you've already got Ranieri there. On the left side, is he better than Martinelli? Is he better than Martinelli? Can we confidently say he is? I don't think we can. So for me, you've signed a player for 50 mil who doesn't slot into your first team. And even then, you technically have better backups. That's where I'm a bit like, where did you not sit down and think about this Madueke deal? Do you know what I mean?
I think they just basically said they need a natural right winger to back up Bukayo Saka. And just to fact check me and everything I just said, Fabrizio Romano said on Give Me Sport that Madueke is understood to be interested in Arsenal's vision and project. Arteta has approved Madueke will maintain the same salary structure he has now at Chelsea if the deal happens. A compensation on the price tag could be reached between the two clubs as they have good relations and serve deals. So as bad as the transfer fee is, his wages are much cheaper than majority 90% of the team.
The wages do save. The wages do save.
That's fine, Gal. But
wait, just 1 second, boys. Yeah, the thing that I think Fabrizio is saying at Chelsea, I think his total wage, if you include bonuses, right, up to I think around about 150K to 150K to 200K a week. So I think what Fabrizio actually is saying to you, bro, is that yes, the overall wage package that he's gonna get is gonna be the same, but we don't know how much of that is gonna then be what's the word I'm looking for? What is it when your money's like guaranteed? There we go. How much of it guaranteed is what we don't know about, right? That's what.
Bro, you literally asked me for the source. I showed you Fabrizio Romano.
No,
no.
Guys,
let me finish. His wages per week are 50K. If he gets bonuses and he's winning goal bonuses or scoring goals or winning us trophies, fair play. I don't care. I will gladly pay that.
No, but again, the point I'm trying to make is same salary structure. So same salary structure, I think means that the overall salary is going to be the same. What the structure of itself may be subject to change, because no player, in my personal opinion, yeah, that I'm aware
He
of.
said
is-
maintain the same salary structure. So that
there's
means
no way.
everything about the salary.
You know what? Hey, bro, maybe you lot are penny pinching because, bro, if he's on 50K a week, that's like what £3 to £4 million a year.
But then
Like-
that 50, even that 50K, I don't. The 50K has to be the 24.
Why Ahmed? Why are you trying to make it worse than it is?
I'm not trying to make it worse, bro. I'm just trying to just say, bro. It just for me, it doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for him
to
to
go from
leave.
50K.
The reason why it makes sense at Chelsea, he's not wanted. There's multiple players ahead of him. Why are you surprised he didn't ask for a pay rise?
He got a pay raise at Chelsea.
Yeah, but he's not getting a pay rise at Arsenal because we're spending a big amount of money for his transfer fee.
Yeah, it makes
There's
more
no player
sense.
who's
It's,
trying to-
And he's
it's got
coming
back
from a
up.
team.
There is
He's
back
coming
up
from a
written all
team.
over it.
He's coming from a team where he's third choice, where he's going to be coming to a team where he's at best second choice.
It's Dan James, bro. It's
Yeah,
Dan James all over
but that's
again,
like
bro.
going from 3 to 2, bro. I mean,
Yeah, but guess what?
Mm.
Arsenal only have, at this moment in time, 3 fit wingers. Martinelli, Trossard, and Saka. And one of them is going to get sold.
Ranieri as well. He's a winger, no?
Waneri is considered like winger / midfielder. Jesus is considered a striker / winger. Like actual wingers.
But
Jay,
Igal,
Jay,
Igal,
can
the
I-
thing is
Jay, can I
like,
ask you a question as the host of the show?
like,
One
Igal,
second, let me just go to the super chat quickly. Shout out to the super chat. Hey Lee, who's Lee? What are you talking about?
I think you must be talking about Ghana, mate.
What? You read it out. You read it out. I said, hey, Lee. Who's Lee?
Even
Bro,
some of
I thought you were
your
talking to the
fans,
guy when you were like, Haley.
even some of your fans, Love XG, etc. You took 50 million for Chelsea's worst attackers per stats. Big up Arteta funding us to get a deal for Ekitike, Rodrygo, plus Madueke will be 3 times sale.
Salary in Arsenal, I guess.
No, that's not
that's
true.
not
That's not
true.
true.
We just
But,
can't do
hold on,
that.
listen, Igal, just think of it logically, yeah? Just from a basic logic point of view, right? You've got a player, right, who's on whatever he's on, yeah? If you move your job, do you take a pay rise or do you move up for the same salary?
Most of the time, you take a pay rise.
Nobody moves for the same salary, yeah? You always get a little hit, yeah, where possible. If you're going to a club where the top earner is on 280, 300 grand a week, yeah, Madueke is not leaving with less than 120 minimum. You can't. That's just bad. That he would just have a bad agent.
Unless he's
your agent is just bad. If you leave, if you're getting paid less than 120 at Arsenal right now in their wage structure, you just have a bad agent.
Jay, unless he's an Arsenal fan.
He's not an Arsenal fan, from what we know.
He's a Tottenham fan. He came from Tottenham's academy.
Oh
He's a
no,
Tottenham fan. Well, he's not a Tottenham fan. He hates us. Like I don't know why. Someone needs to tell me what happened in the academy with him.
Must be to do with Poch. I'll be honest. Poch didn't help him out there.
Bro, you signed Kepa for 70, 80K. But a keeper, a backup keeper is earning more money than him.
There's no way. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Can I ask a serious question, please?
Go ahead, Vader.
Jay, as the host of this show,
absolutely.
Should we not take a moment? I know we're talking about Arsenal and their acquisition of said player, but can we not talk about the ability that Chelsea have to sell?
God, it's good, isn't it?
We don't want to do this, bro. Like,
it's good. It's toe for toe with City because City have a heart. Chelsea don't.
Bro, Chelsea are like
absolutely ruthless.
Chelsea are Harrods, bro.
Chelsea have a heart.
Chelsea are Harrods.
You know
Chelsea
what?
are Harrods, bro.
No, City will be like, you know what? Yeah, all right, go on then. Chelsea will never say go on then. Chelsea will be like, right, no, all right, your mother will put up the collateral. That's what Chelsea want like. So they don't want to
Thierry, hey, what's that? I said Thierry.
Noni.
No. But the thing is like,
is he getting a number 14?
That's a good one, to be fair.
Hold on, guys. I would just want to say though, in order for you to have a good dance, you have to have a good dance partner, and Arsenal are an excellent dance partner for Chelsea.
Can I be honest though? Can I be honest though? Yeah, I think Chelsea. Yeah, we've learned from our experiences. Yeah, in Italy. You know what I mean? The Italian guys, man, they are
mafiosos, the cartels, man. And that.
Bro, those brothers.
The Camorra. Is it Camorra from Napoli?
Yeah. Listen, the thing about them, yeah, they are hard negotiators, bro. You know they don't have the facilities for it, but they will always negotiate a hard bargain. And I'll be honest, Inter Milan taught us a lot. And you know, I have to thank Inter Milan because thanks to them, man. Now, bro, when we sell players, bro, we know how to sell because we learned it. The Italians, man. Shout out to the Italians, man. Great sellers, man, and great buyers indeed.
Bro, I don't like to see my guy Gal like this, man. Honestly, bro. Come on, man.
I told you,
Gal, at least you're signing someone, bro. Bro, we've already signed one player. Bro, I've been here for an hour. We haven't touched on the United.
I told
Madueke, Arsenal, and
Gal
Chelsea.
was debating on Chez's show, about this deal, and I told him, Gal, your club will eventually meet us in the middle. I wasn't even saying, maybe I said it would be probably like a 35 plus 10. It might be like a 45 plus 5 or like a 40 plus 10. And he was telling me, no, but Arsenal want to play 40 million.
No, it's not that bad.
No,
we signed Mason Mount for 55.
Okay.
We signed Mason Mount. He's older. He's injury prone. He hasn't kicked the ball for us all season. Done barely nothing. I still want my refund, Ahmed. That's why I'm waiting for you to take Garnacho off us. I still want that refund. I got my receipt.
The refunds at Chelsea.
You've signed backup for Saka.
28
He's
days,
on 50K.
28 days.
Hey, it's turning to 28. It started at 28 days later. Now we're at 28 years later, bro.
Igal, can I now ask you? Because again, I enjoy listening to your takes because of you take time, you look at things balanced. Some wrongfully label you just pure optimism, but no, you take the time to see both sides. Looking at this deal, what are the positives?
He's going to be on 50K a week, potentially. He is going to be a backup for Bukayo Saka that traditionally can play as a backup. He is somebody who can beat his man 1v1 and get the ball into the box, where we're going to have a striker potentially that can do that. He's still young and potentially has scope to grow. That's where the difference between previous players we've signed from Chelsea, they've all been much older or close to their end of their prime. Just think about it. Gallas, Czech, even what do you call it, Sterling. The only recent players we've bought Havertz and this man here, Madueke, who've been younger and potentially could still turn around their career and have a better career away from Chelsea.
No, it's not a bad player,
but right now, the main reason why I'm upset is not because of the player himself. It's not even because I think he has been poor at Chelsea. The main issue for me is the mismanagement of funds. I view that as a bigger issue than anything else, because Arsenal Football Club is negotiating 5 million with Viktor Gyokeres, as reported at Portugal right now. Apparently, they've made trips to Lisbon and back over 5 million euros. I find it hard to believe that Arsenal is in negotiations over 5 million euros with Viktor Gyokeres. Arsenal walked away from the deal with Chelsea over Michaela Mudryk over a small fee. Arsenal walked away from previous deals for Alexander Isak, for many other players over the last couple of years over small amounts of fees. But we're willing to go and drop 50 million on a player who we don't view as a potential starter on a week-in-week basis.
Everything is relative, right? You determine what you consider good or bad value based on your own valuation. So Arsenal have a valuation for Gyokeres. Now, maybe it's only 5 million euros, but in that case, they may consider it 5 million euros too much. But maybe for Madueke, they don't consider it £5 million or £2 million or whatever too much. It's all down to that. So I don't think those. And also, the situation with Isak, it's very easy to go back and say Arsenal walked away from an Isak deal. Isak then is not Isak now, right? I remember
there's times where you got to walk away from a deal. There's times.
I remember Arsenal fans were talking about spotting the Rolls Royce with Isak one number plate and saying, "Hey, Isak's in town" and all this kind of stuff, right? But that wasn't that same year. That was an Isak that had failed at Dortmund and had a reasonable, I think maybe had a reasonable season at Sociedad. But there was a big question. The reason why Newcastle got him for that amount is because there was a question mark, just like there's a question mark now over Sesko, over Ekitike, over Gyokeres. There was a question mark at that point over Isak. So they're not. It's very easy to get. The Arsenal probably also walked away from deals for very, very bad players over that time, but we don't even know about it, or we don't even think about it anymore. They only look. We as fans, we have a tendency to only look about the players we missed out on, right? But what about the bullets you dodged?
We'll see.
At the end of the day, listen.
Can I just add one more thing? Can I add one more thing? We will have to move on, Jay, to other topics, of course. But let us know. Is there anybody that hasn't spoken?
Hold on.
I've got so much
let me,
more to
hold
say
on,
on
no,
this,
hold on,
but
no,
I ain't
no,
got
hold
all
on,
day.
no, hold. One sec. As
Yeah, you okay?
as the pseudo host, let me just understand this.
Hmm.
So Spurs spend over 100 million on 2 starters, arguably 2 of the best players outside the top 6. Yeah,
Woo!
yeah,
Flex.
that's who Spurs
Flex.
buy. Yeah, that's who Spurs buy. Arsenal buy a backup right winger, but we spend
this is
40
nasty.
minutes
Jay's still
talking about
cooking.
that.
Okay.
We spend 40 minutes giving you therapy about it, Igal, and you have the audacity to try and rush me off the stage at the Oscars.
Target neutralized. Tango down.
I'm like, no, like, please, yeah. But you know what? Yeah, I understand your pain, but this is a big thing for Spurs, man. Like, these are big signings. These would be good size signings for anybody. Yeah,
especially after winning a European trophy, right?
You know what?
Carrying on that momentum.
We will 100% focus on those 2 right now. Can someone want to read the super chat? Because at this point, they're just taking the piece.
I'll read it for you. Per David Ornstein, Arsenal paid not 50, they paid 52 mil. 80 million from the Club World Cup so far. 7 million, which is 52 Madueke, 5 million for Kepa, 25 million for Petrovic, and soon 12 million for Bashir Humphreys. 174 million in the bank very soon, with tons of players to still sell. This is the business.
Sure, but we can all do that, right? We can also say that you didn't have a shirt sponsor for the whole of last season, so you lost
That is
50
also
million,
true.
right?
That is also
So
true.
it's like we can do all these swings and roundabouts. Like, what do you want?
Yeah. You see, you got Arsenal fans in the chat saying, "Well done, Spurs, moving like a functional club, a serious club."
Thank you.
Everyone's cooking me because I said it's a smoke screen. Yeah, man. Fabrizio had a we'll see who's lying moment.
Damn. He did a cucurella on you, bro.
He did. Crazy. Anyways, Jay, I'll say this. I'll start off with the signings. I think you guys have improved your midfield and your wing depth in with those 2 signings, really transforming your right-hand side and just your pace on the counter-attack. And you have a better goal threat in Kudus and another person who can drive with the ball from deep. With Morgan Gibbs-White, you got another leader, another person who comes into the team that can immediately raise your levels. And you've gone and said, hey, we finished too far down in the league last year, so let's go and get 2 Premier League proven players to improve the team. And I do make jokes about Tottenham getting people's leftovers, but let's be honest, those 2 players, yes, they might have not been going to Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, or anybody else, but Spurs have gotten themselves 2 quality signings. And it doesn't. They shouldn't care. They shouldn't care.
Jay,
they shouldn't care what anybody says.
Bro. You deserve a knighthood.
They shouldn't care what anybody says. That's honest truth.
I can see it in your face. You're like, bro, yeah, bro.
Nah, bro. Because the thing is that like I knew like it's not easy. Like I understand people can be like, oh, you finished 17th, yeah, but I'm like, it's obviously difficult to play 2 competitions if you've not got the squad depth. Whatever happened last season. But I always thought like Spurs are capable of doing stuff, and people need to appreciate that. Like, you know, players like Kudus and Gibbs-White, they're not coming off mute for anybody. They're not coming. Obviously, these players see something in this Tottenham project that they're thinking, yeah, like we're going to do something with this. Because either of them could stay another year. Well, probably not Kudus. He hates West Ham. But Gibbs-White could easily have played in Europe for Nottingham Forest. He's the captain. The clause. Credit to whoever leaks that, because I had no idea the guy had a £60 million clause. Like
Man City did. Man City did. That's why they were into him, no?
Well, my thing with the City thing is, my logic is, this is 2 options. Either City did not know there was a clause, or the clause only came into effect like on the 1st of something, or after the CWC, and City didn't want to wait. But when they went to Forest, they were negotiating. So that would indicate that this didn't exist or they didn't know about it. Do you know what I mean?
No, I have to admit, bro, Kudus plus Gibbs, it's looking good. I'll be honest. Like, there's not a single bone in my body that hates on what you lot are doing. I'll be real.
And that's why I said to you in the final, bro. Like, our need was greater than yours. Like, as in, you'll still be Man United, but now, like, being European champions. And credit to Levy as well. Like, obviously.
Hey, he's
No, but I've got to
happy.
give it
He's
to them.
happy.
Guys, I'm not sure if I told you this, but I was in Istanbul when I was watching that game. And Jay, I said this already. I was surrounded. I was in a pub watching a game, bunch of screens. I had Spurs fans crying at the end of the game outside. English folks, Irish folks, they were genuinely crying, bro. And when I'm seeing that, I'm literally like, mate, congratulations. You actually deserved it. Like, it means much more to you than it does to us. And this, I was thinking, you know, if you do win and you don't do nothing after that during the transfer market, then it's all a waste. So clearly you're putting the right foot forward. And yeah, man, I don't see you having the same season as next year. I would have liked Ange to stay. I don't believe he deserves to get sacked after winning. That's the truth. But yeah. Thomas Frank, he's obviously seen something in Gibbs. It can work. It can work.
Apparently he's wanted him for a while. So
yeah, I'm reading it now. I'm literally reading it now. I'm trying to find out what his wages are. I'm still trying to find this out. I've got like 3 tabs
50 grand a week, apparently.
yeah, 50 grand a week. Same wages in Forest.
Same structure.
Yeah, same structure. And this is the thing, is like, I think Spurs now, like, obviously buying from the Premier League is very expensive. And, you know, Spurs have done well to these two players. Obviously 150 million might sound a lot, and it is a lot, obviously, let's be fair. But I'm really happy with these signings, like, as in their great age profile, talented players. Like, both players were capable of playing at arguably bigger clubs than us at the moment. Really, really happy to have got the players. Like, just, you know, new manager, new coaching structure. You know, obviously Vinay's here as well. Thanks for him. He seems like he's doing a good job already. Spending money. They're saying we're still going to get a central midfielder as well. They're saying we're still looking at, I don't know who, but based off this, it's going to be someone decent. They're backing Frank. I'm just happy. You know, like, I'm just delighted. Like, it's like the club is, and like Emza said, the club has taken the happiness and the momentum from winning the Europa League, and they've not wasted it. They've channeled it into, like, we bought Tell as well. So people are not. So we bought Tell, we bought Kudus, we bought obviously we're buying Gibbs-White, and then obviously we're still buying a midfielder. The club's trying. You know, regardless of whether it works, what the club does, the club is trying, and that's all you can ask as a football fan.
I think Frank, by the way, is going to get the best out of. I think Frank's going to get the best out of. Tell, you know, I think he could really.
Bro! Spurs have got, yeah. At the moment, they've got Kulu, they've got Kudus, they've got Madison, they've got Gibbs-White, they've got Johnson, they've got Richarlison, they've got Solanke, they've got Tell, they've got Odebear, they've got Son. Yeah, that's good attacking depth. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see what we do with the midfielder. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm real happy with what the club's doing at the moment.
You
look devastated. Is everything okay at home?
Not only did we spend 50 million, we spent 2 more million just for laughs. But let's talk about Liverpool now. And Vader, I think Vader left. Why does he have a Risa Balaga in his background? What's wrong with Vader, man? What is Vader doing? Okay, let's talk about this. You guys know Chelsea are after Rodrygo. Liverpool's after Rodrygo. Arsenal's after Rodrygo. PSG's after Rodrygo. Bayern is after Rodrygo. Rodrygo seems to be the hot property of the transfer window. And I seen reports just a couple minutes ago that Liverpool want Rodrygo also and are inquiring. And this came from Sasha Toverel, the Belgian journalist, who's quite big. In case you guys don't know, Sasha. There you go. So, or however you pronounce his name. So it is a situation where this could also become a possibility. Rodrygo to PSG has also been spoken about. Where is it? So there's PSG's amongst the clubs that are listed. You also have, where is it? There's PSG that are listed. Man City are listed. There's Chelsea are listed. Surely, where do you guys think Rodrygo's destination is going to be? Because if it's in the Premier League, Madueke signing now probably throws the Rodrygo deal out of the window for me. I think we're going to end up with Eze and Madueke. I don't think we're going to sign Rodrygo now.
Gyokeres.
Yeah, still Gyokeres. But Gyokeres is a given. I'm just saying wing options. Where do you think he ends up, guys? What are you saying, Jay? You told me I wasn't going to get Rodrygo, and you're right.
I know. I told you.
Yeah, I
because
think
I know
everyone can
Arsenal.
tell you that.
Like, because I know Arsenal, and I'm
Don't
like,
leave Madrid to go Arsenal, bro.
it's not even that. It's like if there was £100 million centre back, I'm sure Arteta would spend it. Like, I have no doubts he would spend it. But there's something about Arsenal's conduct when they've been buying attackers over the years that they've had Arteta. It's like at no point has Arteta, in my opinion anyway, and I don't know this, I'm speculating, but it's almost like I don't feel with a lot of these attackers that Arteta is giving the board ultimatums to get these players. I feel it's like, okay, if we get them, great. If not, let's do another option. And it's good that Arsenal are versatile with their options. But if you consider that, for example, and listen, it might sound like I'm getting at Arsenal, and Arsenal is still second best team. We're criticizing them like I'm critiquing them from the point of view of you want to be champions, and I'm criticizing you, not from the point of view that you're a crap team. Do you see what I mean? So there's context here. But my point is, if you want Isak as your main striker, in theory, even if he's not possible, then you'll take Sesko. Yeah? Then you'll take Gyokeres. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like they're all good strikers, but there's a variation in terms of how they're going to adapt to your game and how they're going to sink into the team. I think Arsenal obviously will buy a player. It seems like they want to do it on their terms, which is fine. There's no issue with that. But you're trying to win a championship, and I don't know, like Mosquera, what's happened with that? You know what I mean? Like, and my friend says
I can tell you. The situation with Mosquera is basically he has 1 year remaining on his contract. The club either gets him to sign a new deal or he's going to leave before the end of the window. And Berta basically said, we're willing to give you 15 million euros and we're willing to drag it out until later in the window when after some more sales in case you guys are willing to lower your valuation.
100%, but is that not risky?
If someone else can come in, yeah.
Yeah, like Bournemouth could say, here's 20 million.
But also,
no, he's also made it clear he wants to join Arsenal, and
yeah,
and
when you bring the players in, especially if you're looking at potentially making massive changes, is you want to get these players in early, right? If you're Arsenal and you're talking about bringing in Eze, Gyokeres, Madueke, and somebody else just in your front line alone, plus what's his name, Zubimendi, and maybe that's a major change to the front line. So you need to give these guys as much time to adapt as possible, because otherwise, if you sign them the day before the season starts, or worse still, after the season starts, then they've got to adapt on the fly, and that's not easy when you're making wholesale changes. The earlier you can get your business done, at least the major parts of your business, the most important parts of your business. That's why, in a way, I can not necessarily the fee, but I can understand why maybe they just need to get some clarity on a Noni and maybe on a Gyokeres. Say, for example, Gyokeres gets sunk. That means you've got two of your guys in just as pre-season start.
Let me ask you guys a question quickly, because are we going to speak about Rodrygo potentially to Chelsea or Liverpool, or are we just going to ignore that?
I think the thing is with Rodrygo, to be honest, with Liverpool, the fan base, we haven't really been very interested in transfers since last week. So I don't think the whole last week has put a bit.
Let him finish.
More than that.
No, I've got to go. I've got to go.
You gotta go.
Oh, yeah, I've got to go. Big up everyone. Big up the panel.
Is the Mbemo deal gonna happen?
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Just delays, but it's gonna happen. And we've made some money from Alvaro, the left back, plus
one to Madrid.
Yeah, and Alanga as well. So we've got a nice 10-15 mil income in. So I believe the Mbemo deal will get done.
Man's talking like he made Chelsea money. You're making secondary sales money.
Oh, boy, at least we're not signing secondary. Hey, Mbemo, it's no Madueke, it's no Noni, okay? But I'm going to do a show on my show quickly.
Fair enough.
Big up everyone. Big up a gal, smile for me, bro. Don't like to see you upset.
We'll talk about it soon, man.
Big up everyone.
Okay.
Like the video, guys. Sweet, cool.
Okay, Rodrygo. Where does he end up at?
I think the thing with Rodrygo, but for Liverpool and for Chelsea, and probably for City as well, if he's coming in on 270, 280 grand a week. I don't know whether that we pay that for someone
I agree.
He's
Even for
very
us, we
good.
don't think we do that.
Like Chelsea's wage structure has changed so radically since the Roman days. Like, where does that even fit in? That's not just top of your wage structure. That's top by some distance, right? So Liverpool, obviously, we have higher earners, but normally they've worked their way up. So I don't know whether that's a goer. And like we're saying, Igal, I think this may be part of the reason why he didn't go to Arsenal. But if his preference is to stay at Madrid, and so your club is kind of a second afterthought, but that can work. You don't always have to be the first choice, and ultimately depends how motivated the player is when he comes. But maybe other clubs. Look, if Diaz goes, who knows? The whole, as far as Liverpool's concerned, I don't know what's happening with transfers right now, and I don't think there'll be much clarity for another few weeks.
Do you think you get Rodrygo? He ends up at Bayern probably. Ahmed, what are you saying?
Law of averages,
I think he's probably going to end. I think the law of averages. He stayed at Madrid because no one's actually going to basically pay the wage for him, or unless he reduces his wages. Bayern might be an option, or he goes Saudi. Saudi could be another option, by the way.
He told them he wants to stay in Europe.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Preferably Premier League.
So as I always say, man, it's all well and good until you receive that money in front of you, bro. I promise you.
Vader's gone, and Jay's about to walk away, so we don't know what he's gonna say.
Me and this fly, we got beef.
Jay, what are you saying? Rodrygo to where?
Listen, well, I've got to head out, boys.
Yeah, no worries, bro. We're gonna wrap it up anyways. But this is the last topic. What are you saying, Jay?
Okay, so logic. Not a huge number of places that he can go. PSG is probably, if they're interested, is probably the logical spot.
Oh my God! Look at these guys celebrating Bice with his super chat. I haven't seen this guy in a while. What did he say? What does that even mean?
Breadonomics 101, you go.
Oh my God! And then you got another one here saying, "Alhamdulillah, Morgan Rogers money." For God's sakes, go ahead.
I think Rodrygo is the sort of player that if you look at it and you think to yourself, what am I getting? I think he's quite expensive, and also he's gonna not want to go to a certain level of club. He's only gonna. There's not a huge number of clubs that would interest him, I imagine, which makes it difficult. And then it comes down to how much Real Madrid are willing to force him out versus how much he's willing to kind of see it through. I was quite surprised at how bad Real Madrid were against PSG. Probably shows there's more work than Alonso thought. They need certain players. They need tactics. It wasn't just an Mbappe thing. It was the performance off the ball, the positioning, like how they pressed, like just very poor performance. And the fact of the matter is that they're not gonna now. I don't see. They've already got a lot of high quality attackers. He's got this. He's got an interest in this new Gonzalo kid, so he seems to be getting good, like decent minutes too. So I don't see a way back for Rodrygo there. So that leaves, clubs like PSG, Liverpool, Arsenal if they're interested. I don't know how interested Arsenal are. It's funny because I said to my friend, Ethan. Yeah, I said, "Oh, Ethan, if you sign Eze and Madueke, what's going to happen to Ethan? Would Ethan want to sign?" And I was making that point. Then when we signed Kudus and GIBBS-WHITE, he said to me, "What's going to happen with Mikey Moore? Eh? Do you know what I mean?" And the logic is obviously if you're good enough, you'll make it through. But I'm like, I don't see Arsenal going for him. I think maybe Eze instead. So that just leaves Liverpool or PSG. I'm not sure Liverpool want him that badly. Like, I'm not sure.
Is he as hot as a property that everybody thinks he is? Now that I think about it, not only clubs that are seriously going in for him are if Liverpool have sales and he lowers his wage package.
But he has the talent. The issue is that it's not just about talent; it's the other stuff.
Money.
I remember when Arsenal were linked to him. You were saying we just signed. Well, he said the only signings that could surpass this is if Rodrygo goes to Arsenal. So, like, obviously, I understand you've changed your tune a little bit, but there are factors outside of this, and the money is a factor. And he is
Did
a very
someone
good
just
player.
tell me Nicolas Jackson to Arsenal? No way. You're taking the piss now. Stop it. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here. Igal, you lost to Fabrizio like Drake lost to Kendrick. Bro, in the Fabrizio in the Drake Kendrick situation, if I'm Drake, I'm doing good. Because that guy is still producing #1 hits. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here, boys and girls.
I'm going to see him tomorrow, actually, at Wireless Festival.
Big up, Drizzy. I'm going to send it over to Kaz, guys. You guys already know what it is. Noni Madueke Hive. I always liked him. I can't even say that with a straight face. I never liked him. But hey, fair play. He's an Arsenal player. We're going to back him. That's just what it's going to have to be. Catch you guys in the next video. Love for the love. You already know what it is. We're out of here. Please like the video and catch you on the next one. Peace.